Netflix has just released the first episode in a series capturing Gervonta Davis's training camp moments. As the countdown begins for the big fight in 35 days, it's a training camp like never before. Alongside the familiar faces of Calvin Ford, Barry Hunter, and Kenny Ellis, there are a few new additions to his camp. The goal is to make his training more technological, as he has turned to advanced solutions to help prepare him for upcoming fights.
Let's go.
From his strength and conditioning routines to his nutrition, sparring, and shadowboxing, there have been significant improvements. Perhaps the standout moment of the day was the viral video that's been circulating since morning. Before this training camp began, Gervonta Davis already showed great discipline, adhering strictly to his nutrition plans and maintaining his usual activity. In the new training footage, Davis displayed an exceptional and unique skill set, executing punch drills at lightning speed with his padman ahead of his exhibition bout against Jake Paul.
What your balance felt like.
In the video, part of that talent is evident. It's a skill so distinctive it draws comparisons to Floyd Mayweather's training approach years ago. The footage didn't just show a boxer at work, but one filled with passion, intensity, and hunger beyond what we saw in his first fight with Lamont Roach. It's not just another match for me or another title defense. It's the return of Gervonta "Tank" Davis, he declared at the start of the video. Regarding his physique, for the first time in a while, Tank has been more deliberate about building muscle to boost his strength and power. The WBA lightweight champion was caught off guard when he realized his power wasn't effective against Lamont Roach. Hence, he's now focused on increasing his punching force. Tank is confident that to outperform Roach, he must improve in every aspect.
For a very, very big moment, what is your normal day-to-day like at this time of a camp?
I'm also a night person, but I might go to sleep probably around like 3 to 4, probably wake up probably like 11, get my run in, and then eat, probably lay back down, and then wake up probably like 6 or 7 and get my night workout in.
Damn, so you're doing 2-a-days at this point, running in.
I know I can beat him. I've done it in the gym with bigger guys before. It's not about him, it's about me. I just need to do everything better. That's why his training sessions are designed to enhance every part of his performance. Tank can be seen practicing various punch combinations with his padman, showing remarkable coordination, speed, and precision, almost like a choreographed display. While critics accuse him of cherry-picking or ducking, Gervonta Davis's skill and power are undeniable. With his newly released training footage, he proves that once again. Speaking of his power, many have argued it could translate even at middleweight, given his incredible knockout ratio. While Tank's career is built around his power, he has the skills to match, as shown in training. Some complain that he tends to lose early rounds as he studies opponents, which could be risky against skilled fighters. As always, his sessions emphasize power, but now also include work on muscle flexibility, strength, and endurance. Another major adjustment is his sparring, 15-round sessions with each partner, each lasting 5 minutes. The purpose of this is to enhance endurance and athleticism. Gervonta "Tank" Davis has chosen to dedicate more time to his footwork, ensuring smoother movement against Jake Paul, who prefers staying in the pocket to pick his punches. Davis also spends several minutes shadowboxing, working on mitts, and striking punching bags.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Take deep breaths when you want. Take deep breaths. Right.
Despite earlier admitting that he's had his fill of the savage science and plans to soon hang up the mitts, Tank has appeared hungrier and more passionate in the gym. The footage showed him looking solid, focused, and composed even after dealing with the sting of a draw and a damaged reputation. "This is definitely the most skillful person Tank has faced," the narrator confessed. Oddsmakers believe Davis will redeem himself and take care of business on November 14th, though there's still a shared belief that Jake Paul has a real chance. There's so much Tank is fighting for. If he's to leave the sport, he wants to go out on the best note. It now makes sense why he trains the way he does. Strange for such a heavy-fisted fighter, he spends long stretches of the early rounds gathering data and avoiding risk. It's about endurance and survival, something that connects to his rough upbringing. Despite his talk of retirement leading to a disappointing outing, he has continued to emphasize his need for therapy. When asked about his mental health, he admitted that the past 2 years have been challenging, saying his past left scars and that therapy would help him fully heal.
He's swinging for the fist.
But that's only after he brutally finishes business against Jake Paul. Gervonta Davis posted a photo on his Instagram story showing himself training with a noticeably larger sparring partner. The image quickly went viral, eventually landing on Jake Paul's feed. The social media star, however, appeared unfazed, responding on his own story alongside a repost of Davis's photo.
Oh, that's the hook.
Gervonta sparring a guy with cankles. "Buddy, bring in a real athlete." Jake wrote. Terrence Crawford was as surprised as anyone when the news broke. Because of the weight difference, Crawford believes the fight might not end well for Davis. "Jake is too big for Tank," Crawford said on the Full Send podcast. In reality, he's way too big for Tank.
We know he's going to be definitely frustrated. You know, he's slower. You know, his arm reach not that much longer. We just got to wait and see until we get in there and test the waters. But I'm for sure, though, that he decent and he going to hold up for a couple rounds. But once it get hot in there, I think it's play out.
Crawford has openly admitted in the past that he isn't the biggest fan of Davis. Still, the 37-year-old refuses to deny his skills. Nevertheless, he maintained that the size gap will be too much to overcome. "Tank is very talented, he can punch hard, explosive, but Jake is too big," Crawford continued. Last time out, Davis struggled in the ring. The 30-year-old had to settle for a majority draw against Lamont Roach on March 1 at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. All signs pointed to a rematch before Davis suddenly agreed to fight Paul.
Paul versus Tank Davis, they just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over with.
As for the former YouTuber turned fringe cruiserweight contender, he's long been criticized for his choice of opponents. Crawford doesn't see much sense in the matchup but admitted he'll still tune in. If it's not just an overhyped sparring session and both men go all out, Bud believes Davis will lose, and badly. "I think Jake," Crawford said when asked who'd win. "He's just too big. If Jake lands one good punch on Tank, it's over. Jake can punch with that right hand. Dude is big. He's not as slow as people think, and he can punch."
What do you think about it?
Bruh.
Yeah. Lay it on me, Rolly. What do you think, bro? Come on.
I don't even know what to think right now. I don't even know what to think. Maybe Tank has an unreal boxing ability and Jake Paul is really big. But the last time I said somebody was going to be bigger, they weren't that much bigger. But I think in this case, somebody's actually a lot bigger, so.
Did you see the face-off? Like, he's like a lot bigger, even though I know it's like 190.
Shakur Stevenson, the 28-year-old WBC lightweight champion, joined Babcock on TMZ Sports TV shortly after the Paul vs. Davis fight was announced. Tank is one of the most ferocious boxers in the world, but he's giving up a lot of weight, probably around 60 pounds, in this fight, Stevenson said. Tank last weighed in at 133 while Jake was 199. When asked if Jake had a realistic chance to beat Gervonta, the 240 boxing star answered without hesitation, "Nope." Stevenson repeated, "No."
I gotta ask you, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Gervonta is a great boxer, but he ain't gonna be.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think.
He's just too small.
I mean, size will play a role in the fight, Stevenson continued, but if I'm thinking like Tank, I just try to outbox him and use my knowledge and IQ. He added, "I could see Tank outboxing him and making it look easy." Stevenson noted that Davis is known for his crushing knockout power, with 28 KOs in 31 fights, meaning Paul's going to sleep, right? He then clarified, "I think Tank wins by decision. That guy's too big. I don't think he's just going to knock him out. I see him outboxing him." When Babcock followed up, Stevenson reiterated, "Nah, I don't see Tank knocking Jake out. No."
Love this sport. I mean, when you hear this today on social media or wherever you happen to get the news, were you like, what? Like, can that actually be, man?
Nah, I'm not shocked. I mean, his last fight when he fought Lamont, Jake Paul was at the fight. He told y'all he was going to fight somebody like Jake Paul. So I'm not shocked. It don't surprise me. So,
you know, Shakur, Jake, when he fought Mike Tyson, he was 227 pounds. He was one.
Stevenson clearly believes this is a one-sided affair, but he's not discrediting the problem child. "I think Jake is good for where he's at, but there are levels to this," he said. Stevenson made it clear he won't be watching Paul versus Davis. "Hell no. No," he said when asked. He explained to TMZ Sports, "That ain't really for me. Like I said, I've got two sides, my business side and my competitor side, and from the competitor side, it doesn't excite me enough to make me want to watch it."
Gio's World, facts. That's why Tank wants to fight Jake Paul. I'm telling you, he want to fight Jake Paul because he know if he climb in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, he's going to get zapated. He know it. They all know it.
Stevenson also said he expected this move. "No, I'm not shocked. I mean, in his last fight with Lamont, Jake Paul was there. He told y'all he was going to fight someone like Jake Paul, so I'm not surprised." But aside from his analysis, the fight still doesn't sit well with Stevenson. He was frustrated when rumors surfaced that Davis was negotiating an exhibition with the YouTuber before it was confirmed. To Stevenson, this choice is a direct insult to the sport and to his own long-standing desire to face Davis in a legitimate lightweight title fight. Tank is disrespecting the sport if he chooses an exhibition with Paul instead of fighting me, Stevenson told Fight Hub TV.
And like 199-point-something his last fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He hasn't been only boxing for a couple of years. He's 12-1. Tank Davis obviously been boxing his whole life. He's 30-0-1. He's knocked everybody out except for 3 opponents in his life. But at what point does size matter so much, though, where it can't be overcome, Shakur? And is it in this case here when you've got what is like a 70-pound difference between these two guys?
I mean, size will play some part of the fight, but
I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if you're going to call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. Shakur added, I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that, and he said it was a lie. So if he's going to say that, let him come and prove it. Shakur's words reflect his frustration after years of demanding a fight that has yet to happen. Shakur Stevenson has long sought to secure a matchup with Gervonta Davis. Although both compete in the same division and hold titles, Stevenson with the World Boxing Council and Davis with the World Boxing Association, negotiations have never advanced. Between conflicting statements and constant delays, the potential fight has turned into a soap opera within modern boxing, leaving fans increasingly impatient. Meanwhile, Gervonta appears to be leaning toward a more media-focused path, entertaining a possible exhibition with Jake Paul.
Think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight.
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he chooses that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So
we're working on it behind the scenes, Paul himself said, claiming the fight would be finalized under specific conditions to deliver the biggest show of the year. The idea deeply frustrated Stevenson, who seeks legitimacy over entertainment. One major factor preventing this high-caliber clash is the difference in promoters and platforms. Stevenson is signed to Top Rank and fights on ESPN, while Davis is aligned with premier boxing champions, appearing on Showtime and pay-per-view events. The lack of cooperation between these rival companies has long been a barrier to such major fights. As for Stevenson's next move, he mentioned 2 names on his radar, Teofimo Lopez and Lamont Roach, who has also been pursuing a rematch with Davis after their draw in March.
He's outboxing him and making it real easy.
Is there any way you could, any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Nope.
Not a lot of people have talked about Jake and say he's got good power. Not even and I get anything could technically happen, but you don't even see a realistic shot where he could land one big punch and Tank being so much smaller, he just can't handle the power.
Nah, not at all. I think Tank is.
Months ago, before his fight with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Jake Paul had already hinted at this matchup. He revealed that his team was working behind the scenes to secure a bout with Gervonta Davis. At that time, he stated, we're working on it, but it'll most likely be an exhibition. Now it's official. The announcement has captivated the boxing world. A fight between a ranked cruiserweight and a lightweight champion borders on absurd, yet some, like Claressa Shields, welcome the spectacle. For Shields, the news came as a shock. Gervonta Davis fought Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st, and the controversial outcome set up talk of a rematch, with many outlets suggesting August. Instead, Davis will now face Jake Paul.
Tank, it's the biggest fight in the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be the biggest boxing fight in the world when it happens. I can see it happening not too far in the future.
Really?
I can see it. I don't think I think Tank will sign that contract.
Dang.
And I'm going to sign a contract too, so
then you're gonna get it on.
I think Tank is going through things that we don't know that he's going through mentally, so that's why I kind of like don't want to. I think that whenever I say something about him, it goes viral and then they make it a way for us to beef or whatever.
Pile on.
Yeah, and it's more of like I ain't got to be friends with him, but I don't hate the dude, and I wish him well. I think that if he get his mental
Shields admitted she might still watch if only out of curiosity. Shakur Stevenson, however, reacted differently. He has long called out Davis for a mega showdown, yet instead of accepting that challenge, the Baltimore native opted to fight a cruiserweight YouTuber turned boxer. Shields wrote on X, "Seeing Tank vs Jake Paul announced today and not Lamont Roach was very shocking, but I'm going to watch the fight." When making her pick, she said Gervonta Davis would win, not because he's in better mental shape, but because he's more experienced and skillful. And that's all for now. For the latest updates on news, highlights, events, and action in the world of boxing, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications to get alerts whenever we drop quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.